Alright, welcome back. So we've talked about reflexive pronouns, and now we're going to talk about reciprocal pronouns and a few differences between both reflexive and reciprocal pronouns. But first, let's talk about reciprocal pronouns. They are also an object pronoun, but there's a little difference. We use them when the subject and the object talk about the same things, but this time it's always two or more. There's never just one thing that we use with reciprocal pronouns. It's never singular. And the reason is these things interact with each other. Something happens between both of them. So, we have two forms that we can use, or two pronouns we can use. The first is each other, and the second is one another. So, for example, I can say, Anna and Yuri spoke with one another. Our subjects are Anna and Yuri, and they spoke with one another, our object. What this means is, Anna spoke with Yuri, and Yuri spoke with Anna. Let's look at our second example. So again, our subjects. Angela and Daniela saw each other in the hall. So, what I want you to do is I want you to look at the examples coming up. And I want you to tell me, from the two examples, which one does this sentence describe? Is it example number 1 or example number 2? So remember, Angela and Daniela saw each other. Did they interact? All right, have a look.
Oh, hey, Daniela. Oh, hey, Daniela.
Hey, Angela, how are you?
I'm doing good.
Good. I gotta go to class.
Okay, see you later.
Okay, so if you said example 2 matches this sentence, you were correct. In example 1, there's no interaction. But in example 2, Angela sees Daniela, and Daniela sees Angela. Now, the other thing to mention is that these reciprocal pronouns also have a possessive form. Each other's, apostrophe S, and one another's, again, apostrophe S. And it changes the meaning of the sentence just a little bit. Let's have a look at our example here. Yasuhiro and Osmir listen to each other's speech. Now here, each other's is not the object. It's not talking about Yasuhiro and Osmir. The object is speech. And the meaning of this sentence is, Yasuhiro listened to Osmir's speech, and Osmir listened to Yasuhiro's speech. Just be careful. There are a few things to remember. The first is that reflexive pronouns in imperative sentences are always going to be with the subject you. But because it's an imperative sentence, we don't say it. And you can be singular or plural. So look at our two examples. Here we need to use context, and we need to choose the correct pronoun to make sure that the meaning is clear. In the first one, help yourself to some food, Miyuki said to Yoshimasa. Here we use the singular yourself. But in my second example, help yourselves to some food, Miyuki said to her classmates. And here, we're using the plural one. So we have to listen carefully to make sure we understand which person or which group of people we're talking to. Another thing that's a little unusual is we can use a reflexive pronoun immediately after the noun to emphasize that noun. Now the reason we do it is because the sentence or the situation might be unusual. or strange. Let's have a look at this example. Tom was in love with his new car. Buying a new car. But here's where it's strange. The car itself was old, but Tom loved it anyway. In this example, it seems strange to say new and old to describe the car. But this is an example where Tom has bought a used car. So we use itself directly after car to emphasize that there's something unusual about this car and to bring attention to car. Finally, the last thing we'll talk about is that reciprocal pronouns and plural reflexive pronouns have different meanings, and you have to be careful. You can't use both the same way. So, for example, Sancha and Chihiro looked at each other. Again, because it's a reciprocal pronoun, it means there's interaction. Just like my little picture here. The two ladies are looking at each other. Sancha looks at Chihiro, and Chihiro looks at Sancha. But if I change my reciprocal pronoun to become a reflexive pronoun, the meaning also changes. Sancha and Chihiro looked at themselves. This is a very different meaning. As you can see here, maybe they're standing in front of a mirror. And in this example, Sancha is looking at Sancha, and Chihiro is looking at Chihiro. They are not interacting. So you just have to be careful which one you choose. Alright, so that's been information about reflexive and reciprocal pronouns. I'll see you next time.